Who let the marketers in? Neil. Welcome back. It's John Sin, General of the Fuck Neil Strauss Army, General on the War on the Game. I've decided I'm just going to start screaming shit at the beginning and end of these videos since I was in San Diego a few weeks ago and ran into a guy who had been watching these videos and described them to his brother as a guy shouting at Neil Strauss on the internet. So much like in Tupac songs and all classic gangster rap where there's shout outs at the end of the song, I'm just going to shout random shit and talk in ways that doesn't really make any sense. Like 50 Cent's the best at this. He'll just like ramble at the end of a song and be like, man, they don't believe I'm making money. And that's the kind of shit you're going to get at the end of these videos now. But today, we actually do have a really awesome video, and it's funny because Cameron Tione actually was the one who brought this point up, so I got to shout out to Cameron for bringing this up. Who let the marketers into the pickup community? Neil Strauss let the motherfucking marketers in. Like, every one of you out there on a pickup hate site or, you know, who's crusading against the marketers, blame Neil Strauss. Neil Strauss was the first guy to get the marketers in. Who let the marketers in? Neil. Who let the marketers in? Neil. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It was too easy, and I don't have the money to pay for Baha Men songs in my viral videos. All right, so if you hate internet marketers, like I said, this is the video for you. Let me start by saying I don't have a problem with internet marketers or marketing. I think all successful businesses are marketing businesses. No matter what product or service you sell, you really are marketing that product or service. That's what you really do if you own a small business like I do. I don't think it's bad that internet marketers are in the seduction community. I actually don't really care that much. I think if you have a good product, it sorts itself out and everything else, you know, falls by the wayside. But I also don't go on hypocritical rants about how the seduction community, quote unquote, because in my opinion, it's never really been a community, more just like a bunch of guys bragging and a bunch of guys begging for free help. Neil Strauss does go on these rants, as we broke down a couple weeks ago, which you can see in the YouTube thing. If you go to Neil Strauss hypocritical rant, The Hypocrisy of Neil Knows No Bounds, I believe is the name of the video. Neil wrote this whole open letter about how the seduction community is replaced by the seduction industry, and he doesn't think it's right. Well, that's a little bit like shooting somebody in the face and then crying that they're dead, because you started this shit, motherfucker. You're the one who brought the internet marketers in. So the following is interesting. Before Neil released the Annihilation Method a few years ago with the help of Frank Kern did the marketing for that. I have some insider information that I can't reveal, but basically Frank Kern helped create the campaign. They paid him a decent amount of money, and then Thunder fat-ass Joseph, whatever the fuck his name is, fat McGee, helped Neil as well. So Neil made like the whole thing sold 375 products at like $4,000 and made over $1 million, but Neil didn't make over $1 million because he had, you know, a bunch of affiliate partners, because he really brought the affiliate marketers in. That was the first really like affiliated launch. That was the first launch that really was done professionally with like a hometown boy makes goods script and all the stuff that, you know, various people cry about on these internet forums as unfair marketing. Started with the Annihilation Method. Before that, the only real marketers were fat-ass Thundercat, Joseph Fatty Fat, who, you know, spends half his time jerking off and the other half paying for hookers, allegedly, and David D'Angelo, who actually is a really good marketer. But that was it. There weren't really all these other guys with their ebooks and stuff like that. The internet marketers had largely ignored the seduction niche until Frank Kern made all this money with the Annihilation Method, and then Frank Kern had Neil speak at one of his events. If you have any Frank Kern products, there's a video where Neil talks about how Mr. X made $1.4 million in the seduction niche, and you know, clearly Mr. X was one Neil Strauss. So back then, you know, most guys before the Annihilation Method that taught pickup had actually been involved on the forums and lounges, and even though selling stuff like RSD and Mystery Method, which I worked for, were really being marketed by amateurs. They were being marketed by people who didn't, you know, have a lot of experience marketing information products. There wasn't a lot of sophistication in the marketing. In fact, for a really long time, David D'Angelo was the only one using a squeeze page, which is the page where they tell you to give you their email for more information. David D was the only one to use that for like years and years and years. seriously, people weren't even selling products except for RJ, and that was really just because he wouldn't go and field past his bedtime. Hi, RJ. But, you know, like, it was boot camps, and it was basically just amateurish sales, but there was a lot of demand. And a lot of these guys weren't good, but at least they were pickup guys. They weren't they had gotten into the industry from the right place. They had wanted to be successful with women and then had attained some, maybe, like, they could talk to girls. A lot of them could just talk to girls, like, especially the RSD guys. But, you know, at least they had gone through the idea. They knew what was up. They knew the lingo. They knew kind of the basic concepts. They were keyboard jockeys, but they could at least explain the theory. Now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry professional marketer is writing an ebook on how to get laid or date strippers or whatever the fuck. And I'm not trying to single anyone out specifically. There's a bunch of guys. If you just do a Google search for pickup advice, you'll find a lot of high-ranking Google things that are guys you've never heard of if you're familiar with the community. Like fucking guys who I don't even know. They just basically slap together shit information in an ebook, put together an offer, and then try to affiliate with everyone or buy cold traffic, pay-per-click, do SEO. They use marketing tactics, which, again, nothing wrong with marketing. There's not even anything wrong with marketing in the niche. It's just that now we have a lot of guys that are putting out bad information and who haven't actually done the stuff. You have a lot of guys who are marketers who just thought, like, oh, what if I have, like, put together some course on, like, using magic to get women, or, you know, I'll put together a course on whatever. And it's all Neil Strauss's fucking fault. So for all you mutants over there at PUA Hate and the like, all you fucking guys who have nothing better to do than to complain about the marketing and the state of the community, if you're looking for patient zero in this marketing phase, if you're looking for the guy who fucked the monkey, so to speak, in the AIDS story, look no further than fucking Neil Strauss. Neil Strauss brought the fucking marketers into this community. Neil Strauss was the one who made them aware of the fact that you could make money in the seduction community and that you didn't even have to be that good with women to do it, because obviously, as I've said many, many times, Neil Strauss sucks with women. So if he could do it, fucking everybody could do it. You know, I'm sure these fucking marketers went out with Neil and saw his ugly-ass fucking 40-year-old girlfriend and were like, this guy fucking sucks with women. Like, if he can do it, anyone can fucking do it. And now that is where we've gotten to with all the marketers, which, again, I don't even think is that big of a deal. Like, we still sell. Shit quality rises to the top, son. Like, you make good shit, you make money. People think we ain't making money. People don't know, son. People don't know. Fuck Neil Strauss. Fuck the game. Fuck Neil. Fuck his mutant fucking head. Fuck his bullshit pretending to be on a soapbox about marketing while really being one of the biggest internet marketers out there. And fuck Neil Strauss's book, The Game. War on the Game. War on Neil Strauss. Fuck that guy. He's getting his comeuppance. It's happening. I'm out.